What's good, everybody? It's your brother Mad Black, the most dangerous and the most toxic black man on the internet, and I am black up in your face again with some more pro-black commentary. So I know most of you probably don't follow this knucklehead here, and that is one Andrew Tate. Some of you might be aware of him if you've been on the internet for the last 5 years or so. You might have seen some of his videos or whatnot, or people in the manosphere praising him and his nonsense, or people who consider themselves red pill promoting him and his bullshit. Well, I reported on this channel that, Andrew Tate and his brother are in trouble for basically human and sex trafficking. Okay. And he's out on bail now. He spent some time in the jail, but now he's out and on bail until the trial goes through. And he did an interview with Piers Morgan not too long ago, and both him and his brother did an interview. But what we're going to listen to is just a little short segment of it, because the interview is I think it's like 2 hours long, if I'm not mistaken. And to be totally honest with you, it took me a while to get through the whole thing because Andrew Tate himself is extremely obnoxious. I really can't stand him. And listening to a lot of his nonsense, he never really answers a question in a straight way. He never takes responsibility for anything that he said or done. It's always a deflection, okay? Or if it's not just an outright deflection, he'll just make it seem as if, well, what he said before or what he put on the internet before was a joke, right? Which, in a way, he's somewhat telling the truth, because Andrew Tate himself is a joke. Now, in this little segment, you're going to hear him, kind of towards the end of it, say that, he's not playing up a persona. This is really him. But, I mean, anyone who studied this scumbag and this con artist knows that this whole persona that he has, that's not real. Okay, that's not his real personality. He made that up to sell nonsense and to scam people out of money. But I'll play a little bit of it because I want to kind of critique his behavior and how it's very un-alpha male type behavior. But also, I don't think I should have to suffer alone and, listen to this nonsense. I'm only going to let you guys listen to a small bit of it. But you all need to be aware of the type of nonsense that's put out there by these con artists and their gurus. All right, you need to be real careful with how these men are moving nowadays. Well, let me rephrase that. How these males are moving nowadays. Because if you listen to Andrew Tate and take him seriously, you're not a man. All right, you're just a follower and a sheep. You're caught up in just as much matrix as he claims that exists in the actual world. Right. And of course, when push comes to shove, he blames everything on the Matrix. The Matrix is attacking him and just trying to lock him up. He hasn't done anything at all. It's all a worldwide conspiracy to bring him down. All right, so let's listen to a little bit of his interview with Piers Morgan. I'm not going to play the video, but we'll listen to the audio together. And like I said, it'll only be 2 minutes of it, because once again, Andrew Tate is extremely annoying. I don't see how anyone could stand to be around him for any length of time. And I was about to say something else, but I'll keep that to myself because I don't want to be accused of making threats against somebody on social media. But I'll just say this: he's very annoying, and any real man would not want to be around his punk ass. But let's listen here. I'm going to cue it up, and we're going to listen to what he has to say. Now, they're going to start talking about his little online course, university, that I think it used to be called the Hustler University, but several people online exposed that as just being another way to, hustle people out of money. He claims he's going to teach you how to do e-commerce and all this other nonsense on there, and how to, start a gig on the side or whatever and free yourself from the matrix. But a lot of it's just nonsense. It's stuff that you can literally take from any online course and just throw it on there. And he's hardly there. It's like he'll just take these courses from other people and basically plagiarize and he claims that he's going to be in there helping you out and teaching you the game and whatnot, but he's not there. It's just, just stuff that they throw at you, and you're supposed to pick it up on your own. And if you don't do it right, then he can always just claim that, well, you didn't get the information correctly, or you didn't take the information I gave you, so that's why you're a failure. And it's your fault if you're a failure. It's not mine. But he already got your money no matter what. So that's what they're starting off talking about here in this segment, just so you guys have some background on that. So let's listen here what he has to say, and I'll give my commentary in this bit.
You had a website, Hustlers University, offering courses teaching husbands and boyfriends how to get their partners into webcam.
Absolutely false. The Hustlers University, which you can go to now, actually, we've changed the domain, it's university.com, is a school which teaches modern wealth creation methods. We teach people how to make websites. We teach people e-com.
Why did you call it?
So he had to change the name, and they've recently done that, because I know as recently as last year, it was still called Hustler University, and people were calling him out on just how much of a scam it was. So that's probably why they changed it, because it started getting exposed online as just him basically just taking money out of people. And he did have stuff on there talking about how to trick women to be what do you call those, like do those webcams and stuff like that, and basically pimping women to do stuff like that. He did have that on there, but now all of a sudden that stuff has mysteriously disappeared, and now there it's just an e-commerce website. Let's listen some more.
Why did you call it a PhD, pimping hose degree?
No, you're talking about an old video which was made satirically.
Why did you call it that? Oh, that's satire.
Of course it was. 9 years ago, the internet was a very different place. And if you're going to sit here and say, oh, 9 years ago, you said stupid things on the internet, it's not a gotcha moment, because every single person has.
So now it's all satire. Now it was all a joke when I said that stuff online. But it was this persona that was telling people about that, and telling people they need to get involved, because he was going to teach them the game of being a hustler and being a pimp, by the way. But now all of a sudden it's a joke when his ass is on trial and could face serious prison time for his crimes. Let's listen some more.
Hustlers University teaches children how to make websites, and
there's only one reason I'm asking you. Only reason I'm asking you. You've repeatedly said in interviews since you were arrested that you have never categorized yourself as a pimp. You don't think you're a pimp, right?
Well, what about all the rappers? Did you ask Ice Cube if he's a pimp and a murderer and a drug dealer?
See, it's someone else. Now he's trying to deflect to somebody else. Now it's like, look at the rappers. Look what the rappers are doing. Look what they're saying. They claim to be pimps too. So now you're still not taking responsibilities. Yeah, okay, those rappers might claim to be pimps on a record, but they're not holding women against their will at their home. Okay? And they're not, putting out this persona that's what you're supposed to do as a man, and to get money out of women. They're not doing that. You are, and that's why you're in trouble right now. Let's listen some more.
Sold crack.
I'm not interviewing them. I'm asking you whether you have at any stage in the last 15 years been a pimp.
Of course I've not been a pimp. I've said I'm a pimp. I've said I'm an astronaut. I've said I'm a cowboy. I've said I'm the strongest man in the world. I've said I'm James Bond. Throw me in jail.
Are you just
put me in jail?
Okay.
I deserve
playing the victim. Now he's a victim now, because he claims all he did was just make some jokes, put out some sarcasm, and said some stupid things on the internet. So that's why they're persecuting him and putting him in jail. That's not why you're in trouble, Andrew. If you just said some dumb shit, your ass wouldn't be in trouble. They got evidence of you and you abusing women and keeping them against their will in your house. Okay, let's listen some more.
9 years ago, I made a joke on the internet.
So here's my question: Are you a fantasist?
I'm not a fantasist.
Do you have a persona that's just not you?
Of course not. I am me.
Well, if you
now he's claiming that this is his real personality and this is his real persona. It's not. You can literally go back maybe 5 to 6 years and see that this is not his real persona. Okay, he looked completely different before. And hopefully I can find the image, but you'll see what he looked like before he turned into this Lex Luthor supervillain look of Andrew Tate that he is today. Let's listen some more.
Why would you repeatedly call yourself a pimp and then now say you've never been a pimp?
I exaggerated on the internet 9 years ago for comedic effect. I'd walk into a nightclub and there'd be girls at my table, like every other man who walks into a nightclub, and I'd say pimpin'. Oh no, put me in jail. 93 days was not enough with the cockroaches. I should go back. This is a Matrix attack, Pierce.
See, it's the Matrix now. The Matrix is attacking him. He's invented this whole scenario and story in his head to try to mislead his dumbass followers into just keep on supporting them, keep on giving them money, because without their money, he has no way to pay for his legal defense. Let's keep on listening.
Single person, every single man out there has done things worse than I've done. In fact, I will argue, if you put 99.9% of men through the level of scrutiny I've been through by multiple federal agencies, you will find a lot worse than him saying he was a pimp on the internet.
So now all men are bad or doing something wrong. If we went through the same scrutiny as him, we've done way worse than he has. I sincerely doubt that, Andrew. But you see how he doesn't take responsibility for anything. You see how it's always point the finger at the rappers. It's the Matrix. If you look at all men, I'm not as bad as all men. You look at 99% of them, I'm not as bad as them. That's bullshit. Okay? Let's listen some more, and this will be the end of it right here.
You will find actual genuine crime. And I've done nothing. I live true to God. This is all garbage, and it's not real.
I want to be clear to you. I'm not preempting your guilt.
No, you don't. You don't live true to God, asshole. And that's blasphemous for him even to say something like that, because God has nothing to do with the way he carries himself. I know he claims to be a Muslim, and real Muslims need to check him on that. I've seen some of these people online who also claim to be Muslims still bigging him up. One of the ones, what's her name? Crimson Cure was calling him her brother. I was like, okay, you want to call this dude your brother and big him up, you might be asking for some trouble later on, okay? Or you might have to wind up eating your words later on, okay? If Andrew Tate is your brother. But that's all I wanted to play there. I'm not going to play anymore. Once again, you can find the interview very easily. It's in 2 parts. It's almost 2 hours long. And just be prepared, because he doesn't answer any real, he never takes accountability for anything, which is what the main complaint is from these manosphere douchebags, is that women don't take accountability. But one of their main gurus takes no accountability for anything he says or does. And his brother, when he was interviewed, is no better. Okay? His brother is no better in the questions. In fact, he goes off on so many tangents. His interview was worse than Andrew's. Okay? So anyway, you folks let me know how you feel about it in the comments section, and I will keep abreast of, how this case is going to go, because I'm looking forward to seeing how the trial is going to go for this douchebag here. Anyway, Mad Black, and I will be back on my foot on the devil's back.